a modest property levy in essence, but many would argue that once both are implemented, fully implemented, the Scarborough Subway and this building tax fund, that's an extra $104 on top of your tax bill. Many people won't call that modest.
I think people have a choice, which is that we can continue with this, I think, grossly misleading approach that has been adopted in the past, which is to announce the approval of all of these projects that we know we need, especially when it comes to transit and housing, and just not make any provision of how we're going to pay for them. Or we can be honest about this and say that there's a way to pay for this in a designated fund so people will know it's not getting mixed up in the black hole. They can clearly see the difference between the operating budget and the capital budget, which are two very distinct and different things, and we can finally get on with doing some of these things in the city. This won't solve the problem entirely, but it's a start, and I think to do nothing is exactly a prescription to have us no further ahead than we are today in terms of the deficit.
Mayor Tory,
right now that say I can't afford at the end of 5 years to be paying more than $100 additional onto my property tax bill.
I'm sympathetic to the fact that people are struggling, but I would say that the fact that we've gone on with the kind of operating budget management or mismanagement that has happened for years and years and years now, where we just examine the new spending and never went back and examined the old spending, is a much bigger contributor to those people struggling than is this modest levy that will go exclusively to building out a bigger and better city. This modest levy will contribute to people being able to get around the city, which is still the biggest single complaint I get. It will allow people to have easier access to employment and to opportunity, which will help their families as much as anything else we can do for them. And it will make a positive difference on the housing issue, which is one of the biggest single challenges the city faces. And so I think people will recognize the fact this is a prudent, responsible, sensible, honest thing to do, which is to have this levy, continuing something that was put in place by the previous mayor to build one transit project, and now allow it to be used to build other projects, housing and transit, across the city going forward.
What's